Greetings, people. It's Jared here, Wolfgang1, back to do another Transformers review. So, continuing with the Terrorcons theme, we've now got all the shit team members out of the way. We've got all the limbs done, and now we're going to be looking at the central piece of the overall combined mode, the team leader, if you will, the one with the least shittest bot with the shittest name. Okay, and I will come on to my thoughts and musings on that as the review goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the review for Generation 1 Hun Grrr. Okay, so here is Abominus in his alt mode. For those of you who are wondering, he transforms into a two-headed monster because clearly the imagination was starting to run a little bit thin. With Blot, he transforms into a monster, and the most they could come up with for Hun Grrr is a double-headed monster. Incidentally, that is the bipedal lizard, right? So I was going to say it's not the same thing that they gave Sinner Twin. So he is the team leader. So he's the biggest bot. He's the one with the most detail to him. He's the one with the most transformation. Let me just put him to one side and show you some of the things that he comes with. He would have come with an instruction booklet, which I thought I had. Turns out I don't. I'm not losing any sleep over it. Would have come with one instruction booklet, product sheet, sorry. And he came out the same year as the headmaster, so there they are in all their glory, just there. The Terrorcons, such as they are, fucking terrifying. I'm sure you will agree, with the exception of Cutthroat, who looks like a chicken. He would have come with one gun, just here. This will be held by either Hun Grrr or Abominus as their primary weapon. This section here, which serves as a shield for Hun Grrr in robot mode, and the chest plate for Abominus. Left and right fists for the combined mode, just like that. Left and right foot plates for the combined mode, left and right. So there we are. And one garishly face painted head. Which I actually thought the headpiece for Abominus was quite cool until I actually got Abominus out of the cabinet to clean him up for the reviews, and then realised that this really does stand out in combined mode. But you know what? I will come to that next week, ladies and gentlemen. You'll just have to fucking hold your horses on that. We are not talking about Abominus for now. We are talking about the stupidly named Hun Grrr, which I'm sorry, I appreciate that Hun Grrr is supposed to be a play on hunger. I do think, and I might be alone in this, I don't know, I do think it's a fucking ridiculous name that instills no fear whatsoever. And I might be, as I said, I might be purely alone in that opinion, but as you know, as anyone will know me, knows that I'm an opinionated little fuck, and that is exactly what I think of that name. It's bullshit. Okay, so you've automatically undermined the team by producing substandard team members for the limbs, and then you go and undermine the team leader by calling him Hun Grrr, which is fucking ridiculous. But there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That is him in his two-headed monster mode. Now, apparently, you can put this piece like this, and that's supposed to act like I don't know, like a backpack or something. That's about as far as attack mode as he gets. I'll be honest with you, I don't mind that so much. That kind of looks quite nice, but it still looks a little bit awkward. So let's ignore that I did that at all, and get all this shit out of the way. The shit that I'm not going to need for the purpose of this review, which is, I'd say, about 80% of it. So yeah, we're just concentrating on Hun Grrr and his stupid fucking name. The only characterization these guys got in the cartoon was in the Rebirth. Actually, no, sorry, that's a tell lie. Grimlock's New Brain they featured in, where they went up against the newly constructed Technobots. And I think they were in the Return of Optimus Prime as well. The problem is, if they were looking to punt toys and that, the Terrorcons standout episode that I can think of was Grimlock's New Brain. They might have been in Call of the Primitives. I'm not entirely sure. It's been many years since I watched the cartoon in its entirety, and for the purposes of this review, I'm going to disregard all of it. Can't remember anything about the Marvel comics. I think they were probably done over in the Underbase saga, just like everybody else was. So yeah, so let's get that to focus. There we go, focus. I have tried cleaning this up the best I could, but there are still spots where the dirt has sort of settled in. I thought the stickers on this guy were actually okay. Turns out they're sort of 50-50, but to be perfectly honest with you, I couldn't justify the expense to re-sticker these guys just for the sake of this review. However, the same would not be said for Bruticus when I eventually get around to doing the Combaticons. You know, two-headed monster. It is what it is. That's supposed to sit. Yeah, whatever. He's okay in this mode. I mean, he is mostly just. I mean, you can pretty much see where the robot is. I guess you can sort of tell where the legs are and everything like that. So he's mostly a robot doing the crab walk at the moment. I think that's pretty accurate as far as I'm concerned, and would be slightly more scary actually than he actually appears here. Fucking Hun Grrr. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I expected, because when I bought these guys, I bought them at one of the conventions. Can't remember which one. Go back and watch one of my haul videos. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. I remember buying the complete set with all the weapons for the team members and everything like that, all the parts, for about 60 quid, and I didn't really question it. I was like, yeah, do you know what? That's a pretty good deal. I don't regret the purchase, because that's 5, technically 6 characters off my G1 completion list. But I never really fucked around with them. They mostly stayed in the combined mode of Abominus, and it's only really doing these reviews that I've actually taken the whole thing apart, looked at them, and gone, actually, do you know what? They were pretty shit. They were pretty shit. Hun Grrr is the least shit out of the 5, but he's still not brilliant. Especially not in this mode. I mean, I guess props to trying to do something new. I guess there's not really that much disguise involved there at all. If I saw a mechanical two-headed monster walking down the road, I'd think to myself, that's not normal. You know, I'd probably give it a second glance and I'd question it. So yeah, that's about as much as I can say about the alt mode. A two-headed dragon, on the other hand, would have been fucking awesome, but still not a very good disguise. So let's take Hun Grrr to robot mode, shall we? So let's start by extending out the double heads of the monster. Fucking thank you. And then we're gonna come to the back, and we're gonna collapse these in just like this and bring them back like that. We are then going to extend these sections, because these will obviously form the feet. Fuck me, that's the legs done. Don't get too excited. That's the light. There we are. Bring these sections forward just like this. There's a nice ratchet in there, actually, I've got to say. Nice to see that they still work after all these years. Bring this little grey panel for the foot back like this, and then get these sections out, which can be a little bit stiff. They will form the robot hands. As I said, the transformation for this guy was not very well thought out, basically. I would have expected the larger of the most to have a little bit of an interesting transformation. Sadly, Hun Grrr doesn't have it. Fucking get out. Right, there we are. So that's pretty much the robot. And then bring back the alt mode's tail back like this. That locks into place. That looks very, very tidy at the back. Mostly a little bit of kibble, but you know what you're going to do. And then that is Hun Grrr in robot mode. I've got to say, the face sculpt actually rocks. If you'd have picked out the eyes with like a sort of yellow colour like you had the Abominus, and maybe painted the face silver, it wouldn't have looked quite so garish. But I have seen worse. So just a shame that he's got a massive hole in the back of his head that serves no function one way or the other. That's just cheap moulding. Articulation wise, well, Hun Grrr's head does turn, which allows the combined mode head to turn as well, which is nice. A little bit of movement there. Arms go around a full 360. He does the Perceptor kick. Do you remember the Perceptor kick, ladies and gentlemen? And the knees bend like this. And the toes. So he's actually got a little range of movement. Let's give him his primary weapon. Like that. Get in the hand. Or just, yeah, stay like that. I don't really care anymore. And then put this just on the shoulder like that. And then that is Hun Grrr. Let me bring this down a little bit. There we go. That is Hun Grrr. The robot mode, I would say, is actually far more successful than the alt mode that comes immediately before it. You can get him into a sort of a semi-interesting pose, I guess. That's about it, really. As dynamic poses go for G1, I mean, the fact he's got it at all is fair play. Points there, but he does look like he's sort of been caught short a little bit. That looks like a very, very awkward pose, like his bloody knees come out or something like that. Maybe I'm bitching over nothing, really. I do appreciate that this toy is getting on, for the most part, for about 40 years old. It will be pushing 40 in like a few short years. So I guess I'm complaining over nothing. But he is not. He's the best of the bunch. He's the best of the 5 individual bots. But he's still a little bit for me. Stickers, as I said, I thought were in better condition than they actually were. I'm not going to bother re-sticking them in, though. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, for the purposes of this review, he's good enough. He's okay. He is okay. He's not brilliant. He'll never be brilliant. He'll never be hitting the crazy heights of, I don't know, something else that doesn't immediately spring to mind. But he's okay. Not massively shit like the rest of his team members, but not fantastic either. So yeah, I mean, would I recommend you buy it? If you're looking to get G1 combiners and you want to complete the set, then I guess Abominus and the Terrorcons by default are a must. But don't go in expecting wonders and miracles for the individual team members, because it's just not there. Although I appreciate, considering how badly the individual team members turned out in terms of the limbs, Hun Grrr could have been a lot fucking worse than he actually is. Having said that, he is the one with the stupidest fucking name. And because I am an opinionated little prick, I will die on that hill. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this review. This is Gerald Gavin Barry, also known as Wolfgang1, saying I will be back next week with the final part in the Terrorcon series, where we'll be taking a closer look at the combined form of Abominus. I do hope you enjoyed this. Check back next week for more 7 Days to Die and more this, that, and the other, and other projects that I've got going on, at least in my head. At some stage, we'll see the light of day. So do check back. Until then, thank you for watching this, and take care.